Okay, guys, let's roll. Well, I woke up this morning and you were on my mind. You were always on my mind. You subscribers are always on my mind. I need you. Anyhow, that's not what we're going to talk about this morning. First, let's have a look at that background image. Charlie Brown. I loved Charlie Brown back in the day. Still love Charlie Brown. Used to have all his books. I had a scrapbook where I cut out these clippings from a newspaper. Sadly, they were all lost in the Great Disaster. That's one dark thought buried deep in my mind dungeon, how I came to lose all my photographs of my time in the Navy and my travels around the world and my library. Can't let that one out. Anyhow, Charlie Brown. Why am I talking about Charlie Brown? No real reason. I just loved him. I loved the characters, Schroeder, Linus, Pigpen. It was great books, great comic strip. I remember when Schultz, his creator, died. Really sad, really sad. I think there's one strip of Charlie Brown sat on a dock, and he says, saying goodbye makes my throat hurt. Yeah. Schultz had a unique gift, didn't he? He's one of the few writers, his characters were never overly detailed, but Schultz had the gift he could make you laugh or cry with the stroke of a pen. That's a difficult thing to do with just a stroke of a pen, but he could do it. Which reminds me of a person's limitations. I know my limitations. I learned that in 1964. No matter what you want, you sometimes can't always achieve what you want, and you have to settle for second best. Sad, it's true. I know that I can write brilliant articles. I've written thousands of articles, and I really know how to craft a word. But what I'm not good at is making YouTube videos, which is why I'm always glad, or I've been glad recently, when I see new YouTube channels popping up to Advance UK. They'll do a much better job than I. I'll be glad. Anyhow, enough of that blathering. I know some of you don't like it. I'm not keen on doing it myself. Neither am I keen when I watch a video and I'm going blah, 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 That's something people who speak in front of a camera must, an habit they must get themselves out of, mustn't they? This, I know it's a think space, but there you go. Anyhow, Advance UK. Let's talk about them. We are waiting, still waiting, to hear from the Electoral Commission that Advance UK has been recognised as a legitimate and legal political party within the UK. So I'm going to tell you now what I know and what I have learned from a brief conversation, or chat rather, with Paul Burgess, one of their college guys. Seems to be a nice chap. What can I say? Seems to be a nice chap, well informed. Anyhow, this is what I've learned. We applied, or Advance UK applied to the Electoral Commission on or just after the 6th of September. On the 18th of September, there were 2 applications to register the name Advance UK as a political party. Ben Habib spoke about this, and I think he implied that it was probably an action carried out by those, let's call them not friends of the patriotic people of the United Kingdom. Anyhow, The Electoral Commission says, and I quote from their website, "We aim to provide a decision on complex applications within 9 weeks of the application being ready for assessment." Okay? But the assessment cannot take place until issues like the one I've mentioned with two parties registering for the same name are resolved. So I should imagine this is what is going on now. Anyhow, as of today, 1 hour ago, when I was checking over on the party registration site and going through party registration decisions, I learned that as of today, 15th of November, there's no decision or any other actions being taken. So I'm guessing they are still investigating things. So I guess the bottom line is this. Once the Electoral Commissioner have come to which registering person has the right to the name Advance UK, then they can start processing that request. I should imagine it will go in Ben Habib's favour. Got some good people behind him and he's crossed the T's and dotted the I's. So I'd expect a positive result for Advance UK or our Advance UK. However, this means that it could, even if they start the process today or maybe yesterday, if it takes 9 weeks from, say, today that they start looking at it, doubtful Saturday, let's say they start Monday, then the latest we should have a decision from the Electoral Commission by is the 19th of January 2026. Now I hope we don't have to wait that long, and I know lots of you feel the same way. I mean, you're there in the trenches, you're waiting to go over the top. Leaflets have sort of been handed out, but it's like we're just waiting for that whistle to be blown so we can get into action. And as I say, I'm a great, I believe in being proactive, being aggressive, and I don't like sitting back doing nothing. Anyhow, so that's the news about Advance UK. Now I want to talk about our channel. I say our channel, it belongs to the subscribers. Yeah, you can make it or break it. I've told you, it needs likes and it needs comments. These help the channel grow. But I must give you fair warning now that I'm going to start making a few changes to the channel in regards to the content. Apart from the fact I get bored about writing about Advance UK, I want to do other things. I want to tell you about other things. I really want to hit home hard about the dangers of Islam and its growth, what they think, the different factions within Islam. I want to talk to you about Pakistan and why it is a real threat to the United Kingdom. I want to talk to you about all the money that we send overseas to countries like Pakistan and to India. I think we should know this. All of this that is happening undermines our country. There'll be a bit of a pause there. I found out I've got a pause button on this recording software, so I can pause it and have a swig of coffee. I live on coffee. Anyhow, so those are some of the things that I want to write about, Islam in particular, the different factions within Islam, their different fetishes, their hygiene. I want to talk to you, as I said, about Pakistan, a lot about Pakistan. It's very important. I want to speak about Ben Habib, and then I want to talk about other subjects, farming, fishing, history. I really want to talk about history. I want to talk about global Zionism and what a threat to the world it is. It's as big a threat to the world as Islam is. But you don't know that yet. You've been conditioned. Most of you have been conditioned and brainwashed. I want to talk about the history of the Second World War and events that took place in it. I want to talk about controversial subjects. If someone says to me, you can't ask questions on this, you can't ask questions on that, that is the first thing I'll dig into. I want to dig into subjects like the torture of the camp commandant of Auschwitz. Why? Why do I want to talk about that? Because I'm not supposed to talk about it. But I read about it in a book by one of the torturers. There's lots of things I want to talk about, that I want to ask questions about. Can't help it, it's just the way I am. I'm a curious person. And if I see something, if I look out the window and look at that tree, and I don't know what type of tree it is, I have to find out. And I'm the same with the truth. And there you go. You can make your own minds up. You can either come along for the ride or you can unsubscribe, because I'm not, to me, the truth is everything. And that comes to political parties as well. Even my own party, Advance UK. I should imagine at one time, sometime in the future, they'll ask me to leave, but there we go. I'll still support them. Okay, guys, that's all I got for you. You've been listening to Paul Morris on Rotka, thinking about good old Charlie Brown. Goodbye, Charlie. Throat hurts when you say goodbye.